Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Julie and Jim Traber podcast. I am Jim Traber, along with my beautiful wife, Mrs. Julie Traber. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
What are you looking down there?
I'm just getting my notes ready. I've got them on my phone today.
What are all those notes you got written down?
Other stuff?
Other stuff?
You know, we've gotten a lot of great feedback about your baseball story.
And a lot of the feedback has been about you.
You know, no.
No, it has. I've had 5 different people say that you did an unbelievable job with the interview, that your interviewing skills are impressive.
That was awfully nice of them to say, but you were an easy interview.
Well, I talk a lot.
And I kind of know the story, but it was even fun for me to go back because even though I've heard most of the stories, I hadn't heard them like from start to finish. And I thought that was really interesting. Our little nephew was over here today helping us do some work, and he was all excited about OU winning the national championship in baseball. Really fired up. He got to go to Kansas to watch him.
Be Omaha, Nebraska.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I thought he said Kansas.
Okay.
But anyway, I said, I didn't know you were a baseball fan. And he was like, yeah, I'm a baseball fan. So I told him about the podcast, and he said, you know what, I'm going to do that. He goes, do you know, I don't even know Uncle Jim's story. And I thought that's really sad.
Because nobody in the family cares about my story. I mean, I don't know if my daughters know my story.
I don't know, but I'm glad we got it on tape now.
Maybe you should call the girls and go, hey, if you want to know about your dad, you should listen to our last 2 podcasts.
I will do that.
It was a good idea by you.
I will do
that. It was fun to do, and we have gotten a lot of great feedback.
Yes.
And we appreciate that so
much.
much.
So if you haven't listened to that one, you'll have to go back and listen to the last 2.
Yep. And we also, speaking of feedback, I have a big problem in this world.
Tell me.
I don't understand why it is when we go eat at a restaurant. We went to one of our favorite restaurants today.
Let's not throw them under the bus.
I'm not going to say the name. And first of all, our waitress was...
She might have been new.
Well, if she was new, then she should find another job, okay? Because she was terrible.
Waitressing is not
her
cup of tea.
I was talking in her face like this, going, I want this, and boom, boom, boom. And she didn't even come close to what I wanted. And it wasn't near as good as it normally is. But here's my biggest problem. I don't understand any human being that doesn't realize that when you if you order a salad, a soup, or an appetizer, it's supposed to come by itself. Yeah. Right? Is that correct?
You don't,
Pitch, you agree with that?
Bring everything out to the table at one time.
And I think it's my fault because I think that the people serving us have a clue. But a lot of times they don't. But a lot of times I'll say to them, hey, will you bring the soup first? And you would think you wouldn't have to say that.
Well, it's happened to you so many times.
You're right.
Even at nicer restaurants that you
generally... Well, when we go to really nice ones, they know how to serve the...
I'm just saying... Semi-nice restaurants will do this.
You're right.
So we've just gotten to the point where when we sit down and we order our drinks, I'll say, order your soup now. And then we'll be ready to order our...
Well, I didn't do that.
Because you always stress, bring it first.
And I didn't do that.
Because if they bring it all at the same time, you just need to understand Jim's meal is ruined. Well, he's not happy.
It wouldn't have been as ruined if the soup would have been hot. I guarantee you the soup was sitting up there for I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
Because she took a long time to get the food out. And then the way she put the stuff, it was just horrible. It was a terrible lunch. Makes me so mad. So.
Mine was actually all done exactly the way I ordered it.
So we did a poll today on my Instagram, at Jim Traber, if you haven't been there. And we asked everybody out there, do you, when you eat soup and an entree, do you want it all together or do you want the soup first and then the entree? And we're at 88% of people saying they want the soup first. So why are there so many people that don't do it?
So I thought about this a lot since we put the poll up.
Yeah.
I enjoy for lunch a soup and sandwich.
Right. That's different.
Right. Though. And so I do think maybe some people think, well, that would make sense that you would have soup with your sandwich.
If I'm getting a grilled cheese sandwich, I am.
But you ordered an entire entree.
Yeah.
So it seems like you would automatically know this is the starter. It's a starter.
I will tell you this, as clueless as this young lady was, and by the way, I gave her more than 20%. I don't do that crap. I don't like leave bad tips. I may give more, a lot more, if you're really good. But if you're bad, I leave at least 20% because I just know you got a tough job and everything. But I think if I'd have told her to bring it first, I don't think she would have.
I
was in over her head.
She had 3 tables going, and it was a struggle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's in overhead.
I saw an interesting study that came out. I wasn't even going to bring this up tonight, but this might explain what part of the problem is. I'm going to read this to you because you're not going to believe it.
What is it, stupidity?
You're literally not going to believe it. I know we talked about that, what young people do in interviews.
Oh, yeah.
And that was shocking. This one's actually worse. Adult pacifiers are rising in popularity as a self-soothing tool to combat everyday stress relief, anxiety, burnout, and even to help with smoking. I don't know what that word is.
Oral phobia?
Yeah, I guess it's like an oral phobia thing. But adult pacifiers.
I mean, isn't that perfect for the sissified world we live in nowadays?
What is happening?
Can you imagine if I was walking around with a pacifier in my mouth?
Well, I think people probably do it in the privacy, you hope, of their own home or their car.
Listen, it'll be if it's a fad, it'll come out. We'll start seeing people walking around with them. Maybe not in Oklahoma, but we'll see it in like New York and in California. Because I'm stressed out.
I thought that can't be a real thing, and I clicked on it, and it was an actual whole article that people are doing this.
That's
couldn't
unbelievable,
believe it.
man. I tell you what, man. I've told you this. I've said it on this podcast. I don't want to die, but I will tell you that I am kind of happy I'm not about 15 years old right now because I don't know
go through it all again.
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
well, I'll tell you this. I don't think you'd be sucking on pacifiers. That's not.
Can you imagine? Maybe if a dude has an 0 for 4 in baseball, he can have his pacifier.
Sitting in the dugout.
Sitting in the dugout with a little pacifier going, I'm getting rid of my stress.
Yeah, no. I just couldn't believe I read that. On a happier note, I do want to bring something to the table.
What do you got?
We have construction that's been going on for quite some time at the corner of the main street that we live off of. And we've just been dying to know what's going to come in there. You know, we've been really hoping for some cool things. And I can proudly announce today that the sign went up and there is going to be another bank on that corner.
Why do people build banks everywhere?
I am just thrilled. That gives us a bank on every corner now. And I was worried that they would not put a bank there.
You have to. I mean, I've never seen, man. I'm telling you, we made the wrong decision. I should have gone into banking a long time ago.
Apparently.
You know that guy down there in Norman that I love, and he was a big banker guy, and now he's retired. But he owns a house in the big place. I mean, like a huge house, and he's in banking. There's a lot of money in banking. But why do we need so many banks?
That was really my question. Is I don't know. Are there enough? Do we have that much money? From what I'm hearing, people are struggling. Why do we need to keep building these banks?
And this was a bank shocking. That I'd never even heard the name of. It was just like it was like Traber Bank. That's what it was like. You know, it was just a name. I mean, I'm like, what? Who? Did some dude just decide he was going to start a bank?
Maybe it's like you and me. Like maybe we should start a bank.
Let's open up the Traber Bank.
Here we go. We'll take your money and deposit it.
Probably though, we'll probably be the only bank ever to like not make it. Yeah. You don't ever see banks go under either, too, do you? I guess there's money everywhere.
Apparently.
And when you think about all the interest they charge and all that other stuff, my goodness, man, they're making a lot of money, obviously.
I just thought that would be funny. We've been really wondering what was going to go in that corner.
Every time there's construction in the strip mall, there's a nail place.
Yes.
A lot of times there'll be a hair salon.
No, not as much hair salon, but for sure nail salon.
Definitely nails every different time. And then if there's a corner, they're firing a bank on there.
Yeah. Got to have a bank.
Yeah. And
okay, let's talk about this.
They've disappointed us over there a little bit, though, so far.
Yeah, it's been kind of weak.
I mean,
kind of weak. But anyway, we've got more important stuff to talk about.
Oh, we got a lot of great things to talk about.
We just got back from Vegas.
Absolutely.
And you, sir, congratulations.
Thank you.
Made another really great run in the senior event.
World Series of Poker.
The World Series of Poker.
I did. I was very proud. 7,500 people. Old,
crazy.
7,500 old people played in the event.
So you have to be 50 or over to
50
play
or
in this
over.
event.
And then, so on Monday was one day start, and then Tuesday was day 2 start. You know, and it's 1A and 1B, and then you all get back together. And I didn't play until Tuesday. And on Tuesday, I did well and bagged chips. And then I played Wednesday for another 12 hours and bagged chips. And I played on Thursday for another 12 hours and bagged chips. And came all the way back on the last day with 25 people left. And unfortunately, I got absurdly unlucky on the last day, and I finished 25th, even though I was in the middle of the pack with my chip level, my chip stack. But yeah, I got really unlucky, but I made good money.
Well, are you going to tell everybody why you got unlucky?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly why, because you went home and left me there.
I knew I was going to get blamed the minute I left, for sure.
You did. I mean, while you were there, I was dominating.
It's true.
You leave, and it falls apart.
But let's talk about this for a minute.
This is really sad here. This is embarrassing, but go ahead.
You said you wanted to talk about it.
Oh, I do want to talk about it, but it's still embarrassing whether I want to talk about it or not. One of the people who sent a message to me on Instagram about our podcast with baseball said, I love the way you talk about your warts and the things you did and the good things too. And that's what I do. Jay, you know it. I do it on radio. I tell the truth. Sometimes you guys have been mad at me about it.
Well, here's the thing. I felt terrible about leaving you because I know how superstitious you are. Yep. But I had an obligation. So it was like a perfect storm. Which you'll never do again. Perfect storm. It was Caitlin. It hadn't happened in a very long time, but Caitlin's birthday fell on Father's Day week. Or actually on Father's Day.
On Father's Day.
So she had a big weekend planned for her birthday. Chelsea and Chet went away for their anniversary, which they hadn't done really since Clyde was born, I don't think.
I don't think they've
It'd
done
been
it before.
A long time, yeah. Anyway, so they were gone, and the boys' other grandmother was at the lake for the weekend, and she had had them all week, nonstop, since I'd been gone. So I just told you, I said, I have this, I feel like I have to go back for this. They're supposed to spend the night with me. So you and I really hadn't thought through this, and I just get on a plane and leave, and you still did really well on that first day that I had to leave. But we still were able to have breakfast together on Thursday. You did well.
You're right. We still had breakfast. You did well. I ate so much oatmeal. I ate the same thing every single morning.
Yeah, if Jim has a good day, we have to recreate the day from that point forward.
Oatmeal with a bagel and cream cheese, man. I tore it up every morning when I was playing well. And then you left me there and I fell apart.
But the problem was we didn't think through. I know Jim has said this on the air before, but we're completely serious. I help him put his socks and shoes on every day. I cannot put my socks and shoes on. And we did not pack an alternate.
Right. We didn't bring some what are they called?
Your Crocs.
My Crocs. So guess what I did? I slept in my shoes and my socks 2 nights.
And you didn't shower.
And I did not shower. I took my shirt off and I kind of like put water all over me and stuff. And then dried it off and I put my spray on, my spell and so I didn't stink. And I slept. And what was wrong was that like in the middle of the night, that room we stayed in would get cold. So I had to put like sheets over top of my daggone socks and shoes. And I'd look down and I could see my shoes under the.
No, you said the biggest struggle was trying to then get your clothes on.
Oh my gosh, the boxer shorts. The boxer shorts over my shoes because I can't bend over. So I'm sitting down and I'm trying to get them to go on there. And then I started laying them on the ground and trying to put the foot through.
Oh my,
it was a fiasco. If we would have filmed all of that, we would have made millions of dollars. That was, it was so bad. Yeah, you basically, I could have won $660,000 if you'd have stayed.
So I was like, I know if this goes badly, this is going to be my fault for sure.
You think it's bad when you're the first one knocked out with 25 left? And you got $5 million in chips?
As superstitious as this man is, the fact that he had to sleep in his shoes and then couldn't shower, I was like, this is going to go poorly.
Yeah.
This is not good.
And it did. Right away, I got pocket queens and I couldn't win with them. And then I got flop 2 pair and I couldn't win. And I was done.
Oh, but you still did great. Good
Yeah.
job. Great job.
Thank you. Someday I'm going to run. I've said it on this podcast before. I said someday I'm going to run it all the way. I'm going to run it all the way out there. I'm going to win. I'm going to win a big one day, especially against the old people.
This was the first. You got to stop saying old. At 50,
I'm old.
You're not old.
Okay, how about
but you
60?
did play in the old.
I played in the super seniors, the 60 and over.
So this was a first time for you, right?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's hard to explain what it was. First of all, it might have been the ugliest crowd I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've never seen so many ugly people in my.
And you
I'm
can
not
say
trying to
that because it's your age bracket.
But I'm not
right?
trying to say that I look good. I'm just saying that I look like Robert Redford in that room, okay? I mean, I'm serious. It was the ugliest people I've ever seen in my life.
Here's the thing.
I sent pictures to
Here's the thing I wanted to talk about, though.
What?
You start texting me, and you're saying, Julie, I'm freezing in here. For some reason, your table was sitting underneath the air conditioner vent.
Two tables were the only ones in the whole daggone massive room.
That's not nice when you got a table full of elderly men and y'all are all freezing to death.
Absolutely. You want to see how I did the first 2 hours?
Show everybody
This is how I did the show. This is how I played poker the first 2 hours, like this. And then when they get my cards, I go.
But tell everybody.
And one
people
dude,
at the
one
table,
guy at the end of the table thought I didn't have an arm.
He thought he was at one arm.
He thought I had a one-armed dude. He was thinking in his head, I'm playing against a one-armed bandit. And I did great those first 2 hours. And then what did I do? Instead of continuing, I went and bought a daggone sweatshirt from the World Series of Poker.
You can put your other arm back out now.
Okay, well, it was comfortable. That's the way I did, yeah. And then I put that on, and then everything went, boo, downhill. I should have ripped it off and gotten cold again.
I love this. So he got knocked out, and he's going to go play in another tournament.
No, I'm going to rebuy. I rebought.
You got knocked out again.
A second time? Yeah. That was on my very first hand. I got
That's
pocket
not
aces,
the story I was going to tell.
It's a good story to tell.
It's really not. This is the better story. So he gets knocked out. He's going to go play in another tournament. He comes out to me and hands me the jacket, and he said, take this.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what if it's cold in there? And you said, it doesn't matter. I can't walk into a poker tournament wearing a
That's
WSOP
You cannot.
sweatshirt.
This is the gladdest thing you've ever seen, people. If you go to a tournament, let's say it's the Run Good tournament, or if it's the WPT or the WSOP, if you're wearing their clothes, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. You don't do that.
It's like when you go to New York City and you buy a shirt,
right?
You know, like a tourist for New York City, and then you wear it
right.
while you're
it's kind of like
it's
kind of like the jersey thing too. I don't think men should wear jerseys, even they wear them all over the place. I think it's stupid, but this is ridiculous. If you walk in, because I was going to play in a serious tournament now.
These were not the older men.
These were not the old men. These were the pros and stuff you see on TV. And I sat down at the table. If I'd have sat down with my jacket, they would have been going, look at this big old Yardbird over here.
First time at WSOP. But they might have underestimated you. It might have actually been a positive thing.
All the young guys always underestimate old people. It doesn't matter, unless they're like stars and they know them. But they always look at me and go, oh, this guy's a Yardbird.
Yeah.
And by the way, I ended up being a Yardbird because I got knocked out of that tournament too.
So we ended up coming home early.
What a bad deal, man. You leaving me out there. It just sent everything down to 2. Man,
I know.
Jewel,
I knew it was going to be my fault.
You can't do that again.
I've since made a promise that I will not make plans.
This should make you feel good that you are a huge part of my success.
That I'm your muse.
I don't know what the heck that is. Muse. Your muse. I mean, I know what the word muse means, but how am I your muse?
No, I'm your muse.
How are you my muse?
Let's see. I think I'm using this correctly.
She's using words she doesn't even know what they are.
I know what it is.
You're trying to impress people?
Okay, what is it? You said you know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I know I've heard the word before.
Actually, there's a band called Muse, so that's a problem.
Oh, Jay, they're good? Jay Pitt says they're really good.
Oh, okay. Well, they better be if they're going to call themselves Muse. Okay. A source of creative inspiration, typically a person who motivates an artist, writer, or we could just say poker player, to produce.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm your muse, right?
All right, good. I'll call you Muse from now on.
Or just your shoe putter honor.
Well,
we'll just go
I don't know
with
what to tell you. And please don't message me and say they got this thing. We've tried.
We've bought them.
We bought them. They're made by a 3-year-old. I mean, the thing is falling apart. I mean, it's no good.
I mean, if you're always saying we should invent something, we really need to figure out, because my mom and dad struggle with this. Yeah. So, I mean, somebody needs to come out with an invention that actually works. That's not more complicated than
Yeah. But
than
the
just putting on your
problem
socks.
is, though, is that I like to wear tennis shoes. And you bought me like one pair of
So,
whatever they were without, and
everybody
they were
messages
horrible.
they have shoes that you don't have to have tied.
I don't.
And you could use those. Your problem is getting the socks on.
Yeah, I can't get the sock. I mean,
It's the socks.
I can't get it over the toe.
But it was funny, the
On this
look on
leg.
your face after I got there that night when you were finally able to peel those socks off
Wow, that was
and get in
good.
the shower.
I threw the socks away. And you know, you will tell people I'm not a very smelly person, right?
No, you're not smelling.
Like when I was a kid, my mom had to put my shoes outside because I don't know what was wrong with me, but it was horrible.
It's because our parents bought our shoes at the Pick and Pay. And we
I don't-
wore them
I-
every day.
I don't know if I was ever in
all
a pick
day.
and pay, but
no,
whatever.
but it was that type shoe. It
Yeah.
wasn't like your parents were buying you high-end Nikes that were like
they were when sports wise, but you're right.
when
not
you're
for-
little.
right?
And so we're sweating in our shoes and they get stinky. Mine were too.
But,
All of us
But
were.
my shoes now, they don't ever stink.
No.
But
You're not smelling.
those socks.
They smelled.
Well, I had them on for, let's see, 24, 48. And then you came in at about 40. I had them on for about 70 straight hours.
Oh my gosh. I got to tell you, you'd get mad at me, but every time you'd bring up the sleeping in your shoes, I just couldn't stop giggling. It was so funny.
Yeah, you giggled your way out of $660,000. I mean, seriously, if we'd have stayed, I might have run that whole thing. Then we could have bought a daggone nanny for our daughter.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't have to worry about it. Just buy a nanny. Say, wait, we want this woman to take care of the babies while we're gone.
I had to be here, Jim.
Yep. And look what happened.
I had to be here.
But anyway, it was
I
a
just
good
want to
run.
say you were a trooper because you did not yell at me. You understood that I had to go and you didn't give me a hard time.
I will tell you this. If anybody listens to this podcast, they realize that if I ever say anything bad about any grandchild, you come after me like it's like literally like I'm talking about a part of your body.
Well, you are. Yeah. They literally, they're extensions of myself, my being.
Okay. Well, I knew not to get upset about it.
Yeah.
But I also knew that when I was walking in, that I can remember I'm walking in, and you know, in this poker thing, you can't imagine there's rooms everywhere that people play in. But then there's the really big one, and then up front, if you watch on TV, that's where they play on the TV. I mean,
Like the final tables.
right,
and
final
stuff.
tables.
Yeah.
So we were literally like, what they do is they go from the big to the medium, to the small, to the even smaller. Well, I was in the small already. So here's the poker table, and right over there is the final tables. I mean, where they're playing the
It starts
big,
getting exciting.
well, yeah. And I'm walking in there, and I think to myself, man, I don't feel as good as I felt the last 3 days.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, it was because you were gone.
Mind over matter.
Yeah,
You were,
maybe it was
negativity.
maybe it was because I slept in my socks and shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't very good.
Well, I'm sorry. You were a trooper, but you did come out a winner. We came home a winner from Vegas, and that's always a good thing.
Yep.
Right.
That's exactly right. Yep. Very good. And we're going out next week because you're gonna stay in your favorite hotel.
Now, I will tell you the worst thing was not necessarily you sleeping in your shoes. The worst thing was when I came home that night at 11 something at night, you had tried to describe where your car was parked.
Oh my
in the
gosh.
long-term parking. And I handed the ticket over and the guy dropped me off and took off. And I'm standing out there, total darkness, cars everywhere. Your car was nowhere to be found.
Well, first of all, let me say one thing.
Yeah.
All right. The person that was wrong on this was not me or you. It was the driver. He's supposed to find your car. Every time I go there, he goes, where is it? I go, it says black Prius down there. Boom, boom. And he goes up and down slow. Well, that's the first thing. But the second thing is, this woman right here is the worst you've ever seen in your entire life about any type of directions. And I kept saying to her, Julie, look directly at the airport. She goes, I don't know where the airport is. I said, do you see the big thing?
Said I know which direction the airport is.
Okay.
I'm looking that way.
Right, but I would say the direction, it's that way, then you want to go all the way to the left. That's what I kept saying to you, and you weren't doing that.
Well, he turned out had dropped me in the wrong spot. I had walked all the way to both ends and did not find your car.
It's sitting right there when you got there, right?
No, he drove me to another section.
Well, that's his fault.
That's what I'm saying. He dropped me off at the wrong place. So
You
it was
tell him you
traumatic.
never go there.
Yeah, I never
I'm
go.
always the one that gets the car.
I never am with you when you park, and I'm never with you when you go get the car.
That's right, because we have a system.
We have a system.
We have a system where I drop you off with the bags, then I go park the car, then I come back, and by that time you've got them checked, and boom, we're gone.
Yeah.
And we know some people at the airport. The guy outside loves us. We've known him for 25 years, maybe 30. And so he sees us right away, so we don't have to worry about it. I show him my ID like this and say, all right, brother, good to see you, boom, boom, boom. And we give good tips like we always do, and boom, they get taken care of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so so you don't even know where the car is, but they give you that little ticket.
Yeah. Well, he dropped me off at the wrong place.
Well, he messed up. I mean, that was a little bit. I was mad about that whole thing.
Yeah.
That was not good because that was about the time I was playing in the poker tournament.
Yeah.
And so I got you killing me on the daggone thing, and I'm trying to win $660,000.
It was a little bit of a fiasco.
Yeah, it was. And you were getting mad at me.
Yeah, I was pretty mad. I was standing alone in a parking lot of cars.
But I didn't do anything.
I understand, Jim.
But I'm the one that you get
but
mad at?
I was unsafe, and you were yelling
I was
at me.
worried. No, I wasn't. I wanted you to listen to me, but you wouldn't listen. And by the way, was I right? If you looked at the airport, it was all the way down to the left?
When he drove me to the correct location.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure.
Okay.
It was his fault because he didn't give you the right ticket.
Okay. How about you just show empathy to me?
I
show
did show
empathy
empathy
to you about sleeping in your shoes.
No, you didn't. You laugh about it every single time someone says a word about it. Is that empathy? Look that up. Does it say laugh at the person? Empathy. What's empathy say?
Okay, I'm not looking that up.
I'm going to look it up.
Let's go on to the next thing.
Oh, really?
Let's
when you're found to be wrong, then we have to go on, don't we? But no, when I'm wrong.
Let's go
no,
on
I'm putting
to the
it
next
in right
thing.
now. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't say laugh. I'll just go ahead and concede.
But I want to make sure.
I'll
I
concede.
want to make sure that here it is.
All right.
The ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Number 2 does not say, and laugh at them.
Well, it says understand. I did that.
Did you?
I did that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, so this is an interesting thing. I saw this guy
Why don't we talk
post-
real quick first about our man, J.R.
Oh,
Holmes?
that's a great idea.
Because JR is literally the best you're going to find around Oklahoma. Well, he's in the top 10, but he's number 1 to us as a personal injury lawyer. He's just great. We had a big old car accident, and Julie's still feeling the effects of it, but he helped us so much, didn't he, Jewel?
He's just the best. And he's helped neighbors and friends of ours now. I never thought we would be one of those people that would need to call a lawyer after a car accident. But sometimes there's just extenuating circumstances and you need help and you don't know how to navigate. And I'm just telling you, he just took care of us from start to finish.
And it's not just about suing somebody to get money. It's he helps you find doctors and make sure everything is right. So.
No. We are not the kind of people who would do that. It's just when you're in pain and you've got doctor's bills and emergency room visits and all that, and then you call just to try to figure out what are we going to do about the car, and they say, well, they said no other people were involved in the accident.
That's right. They
and
lied
you're laid
about
up. I'm like, what do we even do? Like, how do you even? So anyway, he just said, don't even worry about it. You guys get better and I'll take care of it. And he did.
And he did.
Just took care of everything.
That's right. J.R. Holmes and Associates, 405-524-1011. That's 405-524-1011. You may not need him now, but if you know somebody or maybe yourself down the road, let them know that's the man, J.R. Holmesy.
Absolutely. Okay, so I saw this guy posted the other day, and you will appreciate this because this reminded me of early in our marriage. We had a couple knockdown dragouts about this one topic.
What is it?
But it was this guy, and he said, I used to think my wife was exaggerating, that she would be judged if our house was messy. I thought she's just, wanting the house to be clean before I invited people over, before people came into the house. He said, I just thought she was...
Or before the maid comes over?
No, before company.
Okay.
He thought she was exaggerating about that. And I think you and I went through that you were like, You would just randomly invite people over. And we had a dog and 3 kids and, both working full time. And we would have those conversations all the time. You're like, nobody cares, right? Nobody.
I know I wouldn't care.
Yeah. Well, jump in about that. You can add. What
Well,
were your thoughts from back then?
I mean, my thoughts were, I thought it was ridiculous. I mean, I thought, why do you have to clean the house for people? I mean, I'm not saying you should have stuff laying all over the place, but it doesn't need to be spotless. I guarantee those people coming over, their house isn't spotless. So I just thought it was ridiculous.
So we had to kind of, after we got married, come to an agreement of just give me a heads up. I'd like some notification if you're going to invite somebody over. Don't just show up, because you just randomly walk in with somebody and say, hey, I invited so-and-so for dinner.
Yeah, I haven't done that in so long.
No, I know. But back then, if you can think back then, that's what we're talking about.
That's back when I was a very social person.
You were very social.
But now I don't want to be around anybody.
But I would say, you got to give me a heads up so I can clean the house.
Right.
I can make sure everything's prepared, because women you feel obligated. And I think you thought that was just me. So I loved this. This guy said, I thought this was just my wife. My wife was crazy. I thought she was exaggerating. There was actually a study done in 2019. It was called Good Housekeeping, Great Expectations. And basically this study was, they took all these people and then they showed them pictures around a house. And then they would, with different people, they would say, this house, this room is Jane's. And then over to this group, they'd say, this room is John's, okay? In every area, the woman would get judged more critically. They would call her names. They would have negative connotations described to her. If it's a woman, if it was a guy, they didn't care. They thought, well, boys will be boys. Boys just can't. So initially, the whole study came out and said, it's actually true that we're very judgmental against women and how they keep their house.
Really?
Versus men. Here's the other interesting thing about
Who were
the
the
study.
people doing the study? Women?
No, it's an actual research center.
Okay, but did the research center ask men about it?
Yes.
So men said the same thing?
Yes.
Well, they're idiots.
Men said the same thing. Here's the interesting thing about it. So, like you said, I wouldn't even notice.
Or I wouldn't care.
Well, I guess that's what you said.
Unless they're hoarders.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's stuff everywhere.
This is just messy.
Yeah, just
right?
messy, not like filthy.
But this actually said that in the study, they found no difference between men and women in their ability to recognize when the room is a mess. Okay. So like guys are like, yeah, it's a messy room. But the guys, if it belonged to another man, they just weren't judgmental. They were judgmental if they found out it was a woman.
You mean it was a woman that made the mess, or was a woman lived there?
If a woman lived there and that's what her house looked like. Am I not explaining this correctly?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah. So if a woman lives in a house and a man lives in a house and they're both
equally messy.
All
across the board.
Well, I would be in that thing too. But what I would say is that I don't care if either one of them are that messy, but there's no doubt that I would give more of a chance or grace, let's say, to the man than I would the woman, just because that's a sexist thing and I'm an old man. If the woman is the one who takes care of the house usually. Now, sometimes nowadays, the man is like taking care of the house.
It is really interesting because this is done in 2019. Mm-hmm. And I feel like just in watching our daughters' marriages, I feel like men are so much more helpful than like maybe our parents growing up.
You didn't say me.
Not you, our parents.
Oh my God. So you wanted to say me so bad.
No, I'm just saying,
Julie,
I think that this idea stems from how you grow up, right?
It's truth. It's truth, Dome.
Serenity now. I'm really trying to get through this with you. I need you to help me.
Truth, Dome. I'm saying to you is I don't do very much.
I'm going to get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Here's where I'm going with it.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel like the standards come in from how we grew up.
I never saw my dad
and
clean
our
one
parents' role in it.
never saw my dad clean anything.
That's the point I'm trying to make. So you get into a relationship and you kind of emulate, right? That's your expectation.
Yeah.
That's where these ideas kind of stem from.
Now, your mom and dad are that way, but you didn't. You're totally different than that.
I don't think that I am, though.
No, you're right. You do a great job.
I really don't think that I am.
You're very old. You're when it comes to the house and everything, you're old fashioned. When it comes to the relationship between the man and woman, you're not as much.
Yeah.
You want your say.
Well, I'm going to get to you and me in a minute. I just wanted to talk about our parents for a little bit.
Okay.
And just that whole idea.
Did your dad ever clean anything?
My mother had brain surgery, and he was told that she can't be doing things around the house. We knew this was going to be a problem, and so we would not let her go home, even though my dad was like, I'll take care of her. We're like, she's going to go to a facility where she can get some rehabilitation, right?
Yeah.
Make sure she's steady on her feet before she goes home. So my dad, for a week after her brain surgery, was responsible for feeding himself. Even though my sister's right next door and she took care of him. She came in one time and he was about to burn the house down trying to make bacon. I don't think he's ever made bacon, but he decided he was going to do that while my mom was in the hospital. But the minute she got home, he had her making breakfast again. I mean, he literally does not know what to do with himself. He didn't know how to wash clothes. Now, I blame this on my mother. You know, she could have trained him. She'd had, 60 years to train him? But at this point, it's that whole you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Well, we're living in this house now coming up in August for 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to use a washer and dryer. I've never used them.
Honestly,
I would
you could figure it out.
Of course I could figure it out, but I'm just saying, I've never used them one time in 11 years. So I'm pretty bad. Now I cook. I've done stuff like that, but I don't like cleaning very much either.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was going to say. I do, in our daughter's marriage, I do feel like this younger generation, because so much more of like our generation had two working parents. And I think you did have to find a way to be partners and both contribute to the housework when you're trying to work full-time jobs, right? So I think like our kids now, that was their version, or that was what they saw, was two people cooperating and getting it done together. So in their marriages, I definitely see more of a partnership to get things done around the house, because our daughters work, right? And so I do see that dynamic more so with this next generation.
I would agree with that.
But
Absolutely.
Here was what I was going to say, though. With you, I know you like to say I'm truth dome, that you don't do anything around the house. I think part of that is I created that monster too, because I like things done a certain way.
Well, that is true.
And
I'll say I'll do it, and you go, no, don't you do it.
Please
don't do it. I'll just have to do it again, because I don't do it the way you want.
I do like the dishwasher done a certain way. And then even, you're so sweet, you love to go to the grocery store with me. And we come in.
Are you going to tell me you don't want me to go anymore?
No, I love it. But when we come in, you start to try to help me put the groceries away. And I'm like, please just let me do it. I need to know where everything is. And I also clean things out. Like I check expiration dates, throw it out as I'm putting new stuff into the cupboard.
I know where things go.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm cleaning it out as I go. And I like to know where it is. I like to put it all away because I'm the one cooking inside most of the time. So I have created that dynamic with us, that you kind of take care of outside, I kind of take care of inside. And it kind of works for us.
I am very happy that I don't do a lot of inside work. That's for sure.
But I did think it was really awesome that this guy said that. So Jim and I have this really fun story. I know I've told it on here before, but I'm going to share it again. I'm going to see if you remember it.
Okay.
Do you remember it? What I'm going to say?
I don't know what you're getting ready to say.
After we got married, it was it was one of those times, I think we'd gotten into an argument because the house was a mess. You had invited somebody in, and we had gotten once again into this argument of, I need help around the house. It's a mess. And you said something that I'll never forget. You said, hey, you know what? If the mess bothers you, do something about it.
Because it doesn't bother me.
Because it's not bothering me. You're yelling at me to do something about something that's not bothering me. It's bothering you. When it bothers me, I'll do something about it.
Exactly.
This is what he said.
Yeah. And then you,
the
woman, I'll teach a lesson here.
I just went, okay. I actually thought you brought up a valid point. Okay.
Oh, now she's telling me after 30 years.
I thought, okay, valid point.
That's the first time I've heard that in my life.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take.
Yep.
To what level this house is going to get
and you tried, didn't you?
Before it bothers him.
And you tried.
And I proceeded to do nothing.
Yep.
I stopped doing your laundry.
Yep.
I stopped cleaning up your dishes.
Yep.
I mean, I was still taking care of me and the girls, but I just let your stuff build up.
Tell them what happens if I don't have laundry. What do I do?
You'll go buy new.
Exactly.
Underwear.
If I don't have boxer shorts, and instead of cleaning them, I'll go buy some new ones.
Well, you didn't this time. What actually happened was, and this will forever go down in marital history for us, is the day finally came that I'd been waiting for. I was like, my God, when is it going to happen? It was going crazy. I think this went on for weeks.
It wasn't weeks. It was a while.
It was weeks. And then you finally came to me and you were like, hey, what's going on around here?
See,
I don't have any.
How little I cared.
I don't have any boxers clean, and I don't. The
That's
dishes.
back when I could put my socks on.
The dishes it's kind of a mess. Like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, is it bothering you? Does that bother you?
How many people I hear want to be married to her? Huh?
I said, you know what? If it's bothering you, you should do something about it.
And what did I say?
Funniest thing ever. He didn't say anything. He went over, okay, kids, this is a real throwback. This was when we had phone books. And a phone book is a big book that came. And in the back of the book, the front part is white, and it had everybody's name and number. We actually let people list our phone numbers
I know.
and our addresses.
Yep.
We do everything to hide that now. But we listed it. And then in the back of the book, it was called the Yellow Pages.
Right.
So it's what you now know as Google.
Exactly.
But for us, I see him going to the Yellow Pages, and he went to Maids. And do you remember that was Mary Maids?
Mary Maids.
That was the one that you saw because it had a big deal. He picks up the phone and calls Mary Maids. And that was the first time ever in our relationship that we had a housekeeper come over and clean the house.
See?
And I was like, yes, it only took 4 weeks of just.
And now for 25 years, we've had a housekeeper.
We've had a housekeeper. Yeah, we've had a housekeeper.
Now we've gone from, since the girls are all out and everything, we've gone from once a week to once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But no, listen, I have no problem with having somebody clean the house for you. The problem I have is that you clean the house before she walks in the door.
So here's why I do that once again, okay? We learned this with our previous housekeeper.
Oh, my gosh.
If we did not put it away, she would.
And we never found it.
And there would be no rhyme or reason of where she would put things, but she would organize it.
And then when we moved, we're like, look at that. Where's that been? I mean, yeah, she moved it everywhere.
She was wonderful. She was like a member of our family. She didn't come with us to Edmond because it was too far for her to drive, but she was with us for a long time. But she never put anything in the same place twice either. So it didn't make any sense where things would go. So we just got to where we were like, oh, she's coming. We better put everything in its spot before she. And it got just to be a good habit because then she's not concentrating straightening. She's cleaning So I clean in between, but it's just fun to know somebody has given the bathroom a good scrub and you come into the house and it smells perfectly clean,
Fellas, I hope you're listening to this. Figure out a way where you can get a housekeeper, even if it's once a month. Bring them in.
But I did want to bring this up just because I do think men should show grace to their wife that they are a little crazy about the cleaning, because our son-in-laws say the same thing about our daughters. They probably got it from me.
Yeah.
I got it from my mother. It's passed down that
one of our daughters is you.
there is an actual study that was done that people, men and women alike, do judge women when the house is messy. So we feel this pressure
Well, they
as a
didn't
woman.
do the study on me, because if they would have come to me, I would have said nope.
But you did say you would look at it differently if it was a man versus
I
a
definitely
woman.
would look at it, right? If I went over to one of my buddies' houses, it'd be
Yeah.
like, I don't care what it looks like. Now, if I went over to a girl's house, then I would have thought, if it would have been a messy thing like that, I would have thought, man, what's wrong with this girl?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any doubt about that. But that was drilled into us when we were younger. A lot of these younger people that listen probably going, how could you be like that? Hey, call me what you want, but that's the way we were
No,
when we
this
were
was
young.
2019.
I know, but
this is a recent study. I thought
yeah.
that was interesting.
It is interesting.
I thought it was going to be like, from 1999. It was recent, and we still kind of have those gender, ideas in our head of what's a woman's job. Now, they did say that when it came out that both people work, so there's a couple with kids, and that both people work, you'll be happy to know that they still thought it was the woman's responsibility to keep the house clean, which I thought was really not very progressive of us as a society.
Sexist. I mean, it's
it is pretty sexist.
I mean, listen, why is it that every time you get a housekeeper, it's a woman? Have you ever seen a male housekeeper? I don't even know if there is. I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure there are, but
I've never seen or heard of a male housekeeper. Why is that?
I don't know, because here's a controversial thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
I almost feel like people that design houses should be women.
I totally agree with you on that. I've been with you that for 30 years. I agree 100%.
I am just shocked at the number of houses we've either owned or been in where men, design the house.
And they don't do it.
And you're just like, why? Women
we just had a deal today. We got two garages. We have a 2-car garage and a 1-car garage, but they're not connected.
The third car you cannot get to.
You can't get to the third car from that. That's right.
From the house.
Now, there's a door in the back, but we got a bunch of stuff back there. There's no way. We can barely get in. Well, we had the electricity went out for some reason. Something hit, and it was that area and that garage door, and we couldn't figure out what to do. It was ridiculous. We couldn't get in the daggone door. Now, for some reason, it did open, and
we finally got it open,
and my man Jay Pitts did it, and we got it back, but you think to yourself,
it just wasn't well thought out.
No.
Because our tornado shelter's in there.
That's right.
So if we ever needed to get in it, we would literally have to leave our house, run out in the storm, go into that garage if the electricity's on.
Well, if the electricity's off, then we're done.
We're just going to ride it out
together and ride. We'll get in the bathtub.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with. I've agreed. Now there are some people like my boy Jimmy Bowers who built our house that have some. I don't want to say woman in them because that's bad, but they have some. They know what they're doing.
But he didn't design the house.
No,
we
you
had
designed the house.
Yes, but we had an architect work with us.
Right.
And so he generally is he builds the house. He's the general contractor.
But there's a woman builder that we know.
Yeah.
That we went when we were
looked
looking
at one of her houses.
We looked at one of her houses, and you said the minute you walked in, you were like, "I can see that a
woman
designed
this.
A woman designed that."
Yeah,
because women know what's more practical and what's better to live in.
Well, we're constantly looking at storage space, closets, shoe racks, all the things that we love, right?
Yeah.
Pantries. These are big deals to us.
Yep.
Us as women, but
pantries have become big for me. I love
a pantry.
Yeah,
we downsized our pantry.
We actually, yes, but we had a small. When you redid this whole thing, you made the pantry bigger.
I don't know. I think we lost a little bit.
I
didn't we?
don't think so, sweetie. You got the microwave in there and
That's
everything.
true.
Yeah, no, so it's a little bit bigger. I like it. We had at a couple of our houses, the one we built and then the one we rented, we had the most unbelievable pantries you ever seen. Like you could sleep in our pantries.
But and
we always I
Well,
love
that was
pantries.
nice. You know, like we got rid of our Sam's for some people who don't have Sam's. It's like a Costco. Now everybody has Costco, but we had that forever when we had the 5 kids, you know,
Right,
and
we had the card, you mean. Yeah, we were a member.
we
We were
would
a
buy
member.
in bulk, everything in bulk.
Yeah.
We went to Sam's once a week and bulked up. And so you kind of needed a pantry for that. And now it's just little old you and me.
And our
Right.
pantry looks like there's 7 people that live in our house. We have so much stuff in our pantry. It's ridiculous, don't we?
It's true.
You
It's
were
true.
taking stuff out and putting it in today because we went grocery shopping today because we just got home a little while ago.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, so this whole thing was just to say 2 things. Men, show your ladies a little grace. Give her a little heads up before you invite company in,
Right.
because we do feel that pressure. But the second thing is, as a society, we probably shouldn't be so critical, you know, especially for working moms. We got a lot going on.
I feel like you should be walking around with one of those signs that say "Women's Live," but in the back in the 40s or 50s.
Women's rights.
Women's rights. Women's rights.
Have you seen those funny videos, though, of people who were like, oh, to the women who were like, we want to work and make the kind of money that men do? They're like, I wish I could go back and say, shut up and sit down. Why were we ever wanting to go do that, right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I mean, listen, there's no doubt that women or men are totally different. And this is bad to say, but, you know, you have that intuition and you got all the other things. The other things you have is that you know what looks good and you know how to clean things and you're good at all that.
Well,
I guess you can learn. I could learn it, but I don't want to.
I'm sure there is in a relationship, it goes the opposite way. And,
Sometimes, yeah.
here's the biggest advice, especially for young couples. For you and me, it took that really interesting moment that spanned over several
You
weeks.
tried to beat me down and you couldn't do it.
I just think that's one of the greatest stories of our marriage. It made me laugh so hard, and it ended up saving our marriage probably early on. It was brilliant. Because you didn't yell at me. You didn't, you just went over to the yellow pages and called the Merry Maids. And it set us on a lifetime of having a housekeeper, which helped. But it is great if you kind of work out what you're good at, what I'm good at, and we just kind of agree, okay, that's my area, that's your area.
About
And
how many days
you just
into
don't
it
have that
were you
resentment.
going crazy?
Probably day 3. It was driving me crazy.
And you just said to yourself, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
You know, when I put my mind to something, I can stick it out for a while.
There's no doubt about that.
I didn't complain to you during that time. I just was really super curious, like, when is it going to bother
for the
him?
first week to 10 days, I was feeling pretty comfortable.
You didn't notice.
No, I mean, I noticed, but I didn't care. But then after a while, it got literally like we were looking like hoarders. We had things everywhere. And I was like, Jill, what's going on here? What are you doing? I don't have any boxer shorts. What was I going to do? I was going to go to Walmart and buy some more, too.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Probably.
I-
You probably did go buy some more. And then you were like, this is getting ridiculous. Why can't you just wash something?
Well,
Right.
it worked out perfectly, didn't
It did work out. It's a great story. I love to bring it up anytime I can because it was just, it's just a great example of how newlyweds sometimes have to work through their issues, right?
Yeah, we did. Very nice.
We did.
You know who else works through their issues? Some people that have to go to Rob's Ranch. Rob's Ranch is a Christ-centered recovery center for men. They have one for all people.
Well, it's an outpatient.
Outpatient.
In Edmond.
But the 2 big ones are for men. And I know there's a lot of men out there that are struggling with, drugs and alcohol and pills, whatever it might be.
You got a
place.
call when we were in Las Vegas, and there was somebody who was really wanting to get help for his brother.
His brother.
And
I
we're
told him.
praying for him. But I mean, it really comes down to it that they have to be ready
They
to
have to be
change,
ready to
right?
go,
They have to
yeah.
be ready for help.
Yep.
But if you know somebody like that, we
That's
just
right.
cannot speak highly enough about Rob's
Send
Ranch.
me a message on Instagram at Jim Traber. Just send me a message and tell me your story, and I promise you I'll get you hooked up with the right people. Rob's Ranch, we love them. We love that they're a part of this deal. And, gosh, it's so wonderful to see people save their lives and their families' lives because I'm telling you, some of the parents, oh, my gosh, can you imagine, Jewel,
Just
if
the
one of our
ripple
children
effect,
was going
yeah.
through that
Yeah.
and then they got better? That would be really cool,
It
wouldn't
truly is a path to miracles there.
it? It is. That's right. That's exactly right. All right. Well, listen, I want to make sure to remind everybody a couple of things. One, don't forget, if you didn't listen to the baseball podcast, you need to go back. It's a two-parter before this one, the last couple of weeks. And also, we've got a YouTube channel that's growing. We want you to go there and subscribe, become a member, be with us. We want you to be there
Really,
with us.
on any platform that you listen to us on, it helps if you like and subscribe.
Right, exactly. But on YouTube, our man Jay Pitts puts out these shorts that you can listen to, too. So there's all different things going on there.
Yeah.
So, but you can also go, like Julie said, wherever any other podcasts are. And we appreciate y'all. Tell your family members, your friends all about it. I had a guy say to me, I listened to your podcast and the baseball thing. He goes, I'm really liking your podcast. And I'm like, well, thank you very much. So I thought that was kind of cool. So
we like any positive feedback, but we just like feedback.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's right. All right. We'll come back next week, ladies and gentlemen, right here to, love you, girl,
Love you.
the Julie and Jim Traber podcast.